There are some of the parts I took off the old furnace. There's the big burner there and the regulator and the thermostat there on the ground. I took those off. They don't work anymore. I'm throwing them away. But you see the size of the burner, that's 80,000 BTUs. The new burners I'm putting in are only 20,000 BTUs, which will be perfectly adequate. Even down to the coldest temperature we ever get here, which is about 0 degrees Fahrenheit. It's as cold as it gets here, which is minus 17 degrees centigrade. That's good. I'll be all right in the winter. Even if the power goes out for 3 or 4 days in a real cold spell, I'll be okay. Okay, here's what I'm doing here. This is the back of my old furnace. It's 42 years old. That's the chimney there. That furnace burns propane and heats my home in the winter time. If it gets really cold, I only need it when it gets really cold. The way this old furnace was originally designed, it would work without electricity. And that's the whole secret. That's what I need, because sometimes the power goes out here. And then I have no heat at all if my furnace requires electricity. Therefore, I want to fix this old furnace, which broke down a couple of years ago. It's the front. And that rusty looking thing is the firebox, which is made out of some material that will take very high heat. This furnace used to put out 80,000 BTUs, which was far more than I needed. So I'm replacing it with 20,000 BTUs, which will be adequate in an emergency. Will be just fine. So what I've done is I bought a camp stove that was made. It's a 2-burner propane camp stove that's made. What I have to do is take apart the camp stove, take it apart, and cut it up, and use the pieces I need and throw away the pieces I don't need, and that will work, and it will be safe too. I'm quite sure it will be very safe. Okay, so here's some of the parts that I took off, going to throw away. That piece, of course, obviously, that's garbage. There's the box it came in, and that thing there is the hookup, propane hookup, which I can use. So after a few stages of redesign, that's the final engineering setup right there. This is where the propane goes in. That's a very important detail, because I had to, it has to be safe, right? And I had to get it out of the, heat. That gizmo there can't be heated up. So that's how it all goes together like that. You see, all working beautifully. In July, I finished the furnace and installed it and tested it, and it works fine. Then through August, I've been fixing my car. It was overheating. I had to replace the thermostat and the water pump. So now it's working. It's cooling. So that's all good.